Hi there. Welcome. My name is Cindy. I'm with Junkbox Studio. I'm so glad you're here. I have 3 really cute projects for spring, and so let's do this. I'm taking a large doily, and I notice there's a rough side to the doily and a smooth side. I want to use the smooth side when I end up folding this over, and you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. And so I'm taking a little bit of instant coffee and water in a small spray bottle. I haven't used this technique for a while, and I was surprised how well this spray bottle held up. I thought for sure it would clog, and it hasn't so far. It's working pretty good. And so I just give both sides of these a spritz, and you'll see some droplets there, and I just picked that right up with the towel, no problem. But I really think this is so pretty. I just love it, and I'd like to use more of these doilies in the future if I can find projects. There's not a whole lot of projects that you can do with these, but I found this one on Pinterest, and so I wanted to give it a try. I want to make a tag for my lavender bundle, and so I just printed this out from Clip Art Library, and now I'm taking my glue stick and adhering it to a small piece of chipboard. I'm using this really handy paper cutter. It's a Tim Holtz product, and I thrifted it somewhere, but I'm really liking it. It's, nice and compact, and it works really well for these kinds of projects. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the Tim Holtz Distressing Ink to go around the edges. And also, I'm using some twine. I thrifted this twine. It's a sisal twine. It's not like what you'd normally find at the dollar store. It's a little bit lighter in color, and it's kind of nice. I like it, especially for this project. I think it works really well. I decided I wanted to add just a little bit more detail to the tag, and so I'm taking that spray bottle again and just giving it kind of a quick little spritz. I think I got a little bit more on there than I wanted to, and you can see how it started to kind of mess up the ink on the print. But once it dries, I actually really like it. It makes it look old, and it's kind of neat. I have a stamp here of some script. I just wanted to put it on this tag. I thought it would look kind of neat. And so you just take the little ink pad there and, get the ink going there. And I was going to take the string off, but I didn't. It's fine. It ends up turning out okay. And so press it down nice. Okay, and pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. Very nice. Okay, and so here we go. We've got the doily, and I just very gently see the edge there and that one. I want them to just kind of just barely meet or overlap, and that way it gives it some nice symmetry, I guess. And so we're going to take a little bit of tape and tape it down. I was trying to figure out how I was going to tie this bundle together without messing it up, and so the tape was my solution, and it didn't tear the paper at all. It worked out. So I've got some lavender here that I clipped from the yard, and we'll get those. Aren't those gorgeous? A little lavender, and some, actually the greenery behind it is a weed but it works for today. So we just fold it over really nicely, And these are really neat. I think you can use these for maybe a table decoration or a small gift to somebody of some spring flowers. And so, okay, so we just wrap this around. I gave myself plenty of space with that twine. I always overcut my string because I don't want to have to recut it. And so I just got an extra long length there. And I want to twist it around a couple times just to give it some visual interest. And a simple knot. I didn't go with a bow this time. I just wanted it to be kind of natural and minimal. And so that turned out really nice. And just pull those up there. You can leave the flowers down or pull them up, either way. And so here we have project number 2. Okay, this chalk paint is called Ivory, and I got it at the Dollar General. It's not so much ivory, it's kind of pinkish, but I ended up using this as a base coat for this basket. This is a metal basket. I'm not crazy about the scalloping, so I wanted to cover that up. And so I just take a sea sponge and give this a good base, but I end up switching it over to some antique white, and that will go with the material, the canvas that I'm using. Just kind of brightens it all up. So that's it there. It's apple barrel. And I just do the inside just a little bit. I do end up putting the Excelsior in the basket, so I don't need to go all the way down into the basket. And to add to this project, I'm taking a bowl with a little bit of water, and I've never really done this before. I saw it, I think I saw it on Pinterest in a short video, and this is just packing paper from a shipment that I got. I think you can also use a brown paper bag, either one, and so I just put that in the water and lay it out to dry. Now I'm taking just a scrap piece of canvas and I'm ironing it really good, and so I'm just kind of measuring because I want it to fit right into the center. I don't want to go over the top or over that bottom edge. And so I'm just gonna get that all cut out. Now that we've got that all glued down, I'm just kind of going over the edges a little bit just to rough them up and give it a little bit of wear. And so here's that paper all dry. This is just kind of really pretty free form. In the past I would have cut the circles all kind of like try to get them as perfect as possible and measure them out and all that stuff. But there's an easier way to do things, and I guess after a while you just learn of new techniques. Now this is an old applique. I don't know if any of you guys recognize this, when skulls were popular back in like 2015 or something like that. And so I had this laying around for years, but I really like it because I like the embroidery on that mesh, and the mesh is going to just add some little extra interest for these. I'm making flowers, actually, by the way. And so I just kind of rough cut everything. No measuring, it doesn't matter. You can just trim it all later. And so I just glue one on top of each other. And you can make this as thick or thin as you want. and really build it up. And so the ones that I saw on Pinterest, I think they had used some pearls for the middle. And I do have pearls I could have used, but I have this, a bunch of these pins that I got from a swap meet years ago. And they're like little brooch pins. And I thought it'd be really nice in the center of this. And so you just throw your layers on there. And I wanted to end with one of the appliques against this brooch. Would be really pretty. So there it is there. It does have a pin on the back. I did not remove the pin. I just hot glued it and it's fine. It works fine. And so you'll see me just go around and trim everything up. So you don't have to get too fussy with cutting out all these perfect circles. Just get the stuff cut out and throw it all together and then trim it later. Makes it much easier. Okay, I decided to put strips of paper on the handle of the basket. I was going to leave the basket handle because it was kind of cute. It had a twist in it and all that. But because I used this paper in the flower, I wanted to tie it in somewhere else on the basket. And so this is what I ended up doing. It's actually pretty easy. Went around there pretty good. And this wasn't in the plan at all. This was kind of a last minute thing. I went ahead and added the Excelsior to the basket and gave that flower a little bit more of a trim because it was a little too big. And so I'm just trying to figure out, I think I thought about putting it in the corner of the handle there. Would have been cute. Would have been cute with a bow in the corner like that. And then I would have had to put something else in the middle. But I decided to throw this on. It's not something I would normally do, so why not try something new? And so we get that hot glued, and this project is pretty much finished. I'm going to take some of those wooden eggs and just kind of style this really quick just to see, you know, I like the natural look together tied in with the that packing paper or the craft paper. And so here we have project number 3. It is, I've had this material for a really long time. I don't normally use pink, but I am today. And so I just freehanded an egg shape. And so we're just going to get that all cut out. Once you get that all cut out, go ahead and put the right sides, well, turn it right side out, I guess you could say, and take some hot glue. This is a really simple, easy technique. Normally I would sew it, but I'm finding that my sewing projects are not getting the attention that I thought they would. And so, you know, I totally understand because it's just easier to hot glue things. Not everybody has a sewing machine, and you know, taking the time to sew things up like that, especially if you're doing multiples, it's a lot easier to hot glue and it looks just as good. You can, you know, add trim to the edges or however you like. I thought that the hot glue was going to show through this material, but it didn't at all. I do, when I hot glue things down, if I think it's going to show through the material, I just kind of lightly press the edges together until the hot glue cools enough to where it won't soak through the fabric. And so that seems to work out pretty well. But I really like this technique. It's so much easier than sewing things. And I've seen so many crafters do this. And I thought, well, why don't I do this too? But look at that material. Isn't it adorable? It's kind of a, I guess it's vintage. And I don't know, it was my mom's and she gave it to me. So yeah, it's some little vintage material, and we'll get that all stuffed. I was going to stuff this like kind of flat, but I ended up adding more to it to give it a rounded look, and I'm glad I did. It still works for the image that I have for this project, and so we just get that all stuffed and glued shut. I have a bunch of these leftover appliques. I didn't thrift them. I got them at a swap meet. A swap meet where I used to live. They would have tables full of these appliques, and they were like overages from garment manufacturing, and they were like, I don't know, maybe a quarter or 50 cents each, and you could just get bags and bags of them. So I've got a bunch of them. I haven't used them in a really long time, but I thought this would be a great reason to use one. And so I found one that worked pretty well. And so I'm just lightly hot gluing this. Again, the hot glue did not, you'd think that it would come through, but it didn't. It turned out pretty good. And I just do a light application there of the hot glue and just kind of barely press it down. You can see I could barely press it down like that until the hot glue cools enough, and then you can kind of press it down even more. But I give it a little trim there. Again, in the past, I would have measured this whole thing and tried to cut it and get it right and then applied it. But you know, you live and you learn. I threw the applique on there, glue it down, and then cut after. And so these are the things we learn as we go, just to make our jobs a little bit easier. But how cute is that? And so I'm taking a little bit of the greenery. I wanted to match the green in the material, so I opted for this darker green piece of greenery, and I just put that in there like that. And now I have a Tim Holtz vintage like image doll. It comes in a pack. I don't have an affiliation link with them on Amazon. I think I bought it at probably Michael's or something like that. But isn't she cute? She's got her little Easter dress on, and she's made out of cardstock, so she's a stiffer material. And so I just glue her down a little bit, and super cute. She got her little Easter dress. I ended up pulling her out just a little bit because I wanted you to see more of her hands, because I'm going to be adding some flowers to her hand there, and those are something I thrifted in a tiny little bundle. They're almost like a little ceramic flower or a little clay flower, and so I just take 3 of them, I wrap them around each other and give them a little trim and just some more hot glue. And so she's got like a little bouquet that she's holding, and so this was really fun. This was all a last minute plan. A lot of my stuff is really kind of, I have a rough plan, but then I kind of also, as I go, I make changes and add to, and it's just a little bit more spontaneous and a little bit more challenging and fun. And so I end up taking this is a vintage white or antique white twine, and I just used 3 pieces and made a very simple bow. I didn't want to take away too much from the image or the greenery, but it's just enough. And so really quickly here I add just a green button to I didn't show, me painting it. I lost a clip or something, I don't know. And I'm just adding more dark green because it goes better with that greenery. And so that's it for this project. Oh, and I did sand that button down just a little bit too, just to make it look aged. And so here we go. You guys, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. I had a great time making these, and I hope you enjoyed them. Once again, thank you for all your wonderful comments. And please let me know which one is your favorite. I'll see you next time. Bye.